Okay, so here we are again looking at documents from the bill posting lounge, and obviously it's centered around advertising, which is the nature of the business. Here's a nice little back bar area with all kinds of interesting beer cans from a bygone era. We have the Paul Bunyan beer, very rare. We have the Bullfrog and the Anchor beer, followed by the Hams sign that rotates with two fishermen in a canoe. Quite a bit of Hams products back here. And there you are. Drink genuine draft and enjoy a slice of pizza while you do.
That came out of Mycroft's window.
Out of the window of Mycroft's, the bar across the street.
Before it was combusted.
And what meter would be complete without Mardi Gras beads on it and a Cubs sticker? Oh, there you have one for the fans. Your old Milwaukee advertising. They seem to be enjoying one on the beach. Now we're gonna pan back here to some family heirlooms that would include this bar, which is just a standard bar, but the bar stools are what's unique. Right. It's from our grandparents' house in Morton Grove, 8909 Park Avenue. These would have been the stools that our uncles Donald, Charlie, and our father Bernie Sr. would have sat at in their teens and when they were 20, having a beer in the basement there at their home in Parkside. There's another nice view of the Ham sign with the sky blue waters. Bernie's award-winning shot glass collection of shot glasses from around the world. There's your Page Plant billboard that was at North and Ashland Avenue on top of the restaurant there. And we're moving, oh, here's a classic. George's Music Room, West Roosevelt Avenue, just east of Pulaski. Very famous for you R&B enthusiasts. George really was quite a great guy. An old R&B vinyl record shop from back in the day. Moving right along, we'll just take a quicker look here at the bill posting display units from the Museum of Bill Posting History. Here you've got the Union cards that go back to our father when he was a member of the Union, 1960s. Moving right along, what's the fuss over Flex? Flex would be the vinyl advertisements that slowly but surely replaced paper advertising as a medium in the outdoor advertising business. There is some artifacts from Gannett Outdoor Advertising, including a corporate watch, which was one of our clients in the 1980s. Of course, a nice collection of pens. Postcard from Viacom, which replaced Gannett. Moving right along, there's a picture of our Uncle Charlie with his daughter Denise, the innovator of Flexco. A series of interesting postcards, all related to outdoor advertising. An 8-sheet bill poster card to document your routes. A whole litany of concert tickets and memorabilia, Cubs memorabilia. So apparently after work they would go out and look at the concerts and go to a Cubs game. There's your Flexco Incorporated signage, at little promotional leaflet with Mona Lisa on it. Apparently only Flexco could make her smile. Of course, if you see here in the corner, you've got some relics from the Buffalo Bill Cody era, and of course that ties into the history of outdoor advertising, as our great-great-grandfather worked for the Wild West show doing his advertising, and we're very proud of that. And then you'll see some more day-to-day operational invoices, and employee handbook, and a guide to the different styles of brushes used by the outdoor advertising bill poster, etc., etc. Here's one photograph of Bernie in his jumpsuit, where he was just coming back from a route.
Well, no, that wasn't. I was inside the Grand Ballroom of the downtown Hilton Hotel.
That day happened to be in the downtown Grand Hotel Ballroom.
I posted that 30 sheet, which was they were having the Woman of the Year luncheon there, and in that year it was one of the woman's name was Lynn O'Shea, and she was an account executive with Gannett at the time, and she was the one who won the award that year. So they thought it would be interesting if they actually had a billboard inside the ballroom.
So there you go.
And that was all posted listing the past winners.
Bill posting and ballroom dance always go hand in hand, I said. Here's some more. Oh, here's a postacular posting service. Must be a ledger of some kind.
Well, that was one of Dad's original checkbooks.
Checkbook. There's the original checkbook.
That's the rotary from the month and year when I first started, May
From
1979.
Triangle Outdoor, which is why there's a triangle on the upper left-hand side.
Right.
They were one of the classic American outdoor advertising companies.
Right.
There's a triangle folder. And moving right along, you can see some...
That's my posting cap.
There's his old posting cap.
Triangle.
That would be from Triangle Outdoor. Immediately followed by the Gannett Outdoor Our Pride Shows t-shirt. Not to be outdone by Eller Media Company with their t-shirt. Not to be outdone by Gannett Outdoor with their cap.
Well, that was my posting cap.
And not to be outdone by Gannett Outdoor with their coffee thermos. Not to be outdone by CBS Outdoor with their cap. Now, moving right along, here is a good view of the Triangle Sign Company outdoor advertising folder with its vivid colors. In the back there, you can make out a sketch for a Marlboro billboard in all its glory. Come to where the flavor is. I always did, myself personally. Tell you what a joy that was. Here's the small child's toy for the Railway Express truck, which was the company my father worked for.
Well, this particular model
Many years ago
would have been the one that Grandpa, the type of truck Grandpa would have posted during World War II.
Right, from the World War II era, you got your Railway Express.
Right.
Moving up here, you've got your Cream City Bill Posting Company mug. You're getting that outdoor coffee cup. Your Outdoor Systems coffee cup. Your Infinity Outdoor coffee cup. Your Viacom Outdoor coffee cup. Your CBS Outdoor coffee cup. And your Page Plant coffee cups.
Yeah.
What they all have in common, except for the Page Plant coffee cups, is they were all clients of ours. Here's a small mini billboard of Canadian Mist.
That was the last paper bulletin that we ever posted.
The last paper
in the year
bulletin
2000.
ever posted.
In the year 2000.
It's a nice replica of an old style billboard for shredded wheat.
This would have been tabletop displays for General Outdoor.
Small billboard calendar. Coca-Cola. Spearmint gum. Bernie's business card.
Yeah. Just
A
now
little-
collector's item.
Little barrel with a coin operated bank.
That was Dad's.
That was our father's. Us advertising
Postcards. With
postcard
spectaculars.
for Schlitz. The real Gusto, if you will.
And that was the largest outdoor job we ever did, the 3D
Yeah,
consonant hedges across from Wrigley
On
Field,
the-
on top of the covey.
The Wrigley Field installation.
Yes.
The Bernie Mac show.
That's a neat sheet.
There's your bill poster enjoying a sip of Coca-Cola on the platform of a Coca-Cola advertisement. Some personal mementos that say Bernard.
It's the Bernard clock
The Bernard clock.
that I got from Dad.
The Auction Cartage Company stamp. 3630 North Central Avenue, Chicago, which was one of our father's first company, the Moving and Cartage Company. There's your Flexco vinyl. You've got some other stamps from Bernard J. Edwards. You've got his caddy pin, number 144. A little hard to see on video. 144 at the Brookwood County Club official caddy pin. Some other minutia here.
Well, this was Uncle Charlie's Hotel, the Shangri-La.
There's the Shangri-La, Uncle Charlie's Hotel. Here's Bill Poster's Guide to How It's Done. Got some more replica trucks of the Railway Express. And moving
that was a Union stamp.
Right along, here's a Union stamp. Get the Union seal of approval.
Well, both of these would have been Union stamps.
Union stamps.
And of course, that's a piece of the floor from the advertising car.
Barnum and Bailey Circus in Baraboo, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Some old signage booklets.
Yeah, that came. So Dad found that.
Envelope number 1 from the local Bill Posters and Billers Union. And let's see here. Here's our grandfather with his bowling buddies, and our father. For the sake of clarity, our father is the furthest one to the left, and Grandpa is 4th from the left in this plaque, in their winning bowling trophy days. And there's the bowling ball itself, with the custom-made slots for the fingers.
Yeah, well, for different, he could do different types of grips. I mean, to put he could use different grips to put different spin.
To put spin on the ball.
Yeah.
You heard it here first.
Yeah.
And then our ribbons from Glenfora Country Club in Lake Forest, where we were members when we were young, and it was very fancy, and we always had a nice Christmas dinner. Bernie's Presidential Fitness Award from John F. Kennedy.
Yeah.
Apparently fitness was very important back in those days. Sportsman's Country Club patches, and Chicago Sun-Times, the APC Triplicate Club, and another Glenflora ribbon, all personal keepsakes of the life and times of a 5-generation Bill Poston family. Here we have a beautiful sculpture by Dan Blue, one of his
well, that actually would have been a
models for a larger sculpture that he would have built. Right. Stepping back, we get to see the Coca-Cola sign from the 1980s, I believe.
Right.
Michael Jordan's rookie year in the NBA, and a commercial that blends the popular television persona of Max Headroom with the delicious taste of a Coca-Cola and the righteous jump shot of one Air Jordan. Moving on along, we'll give you a nice panorama of the Postacular Lounge as we segue into the Museum of Bill Posting History. You got your 30-sheet Bill Poster ladder, your brushes, etc. Take a closer look over here. Got a whole variety of brushes used by the Bill Posters over the years. Where was your brush here, Vern?
Well, mine is, this was the last one I broke.
This is his last brush that he broke.
2005.
2005 brush, his scraper, the Bill Posting pouches with the pouch and smoother. Yeah, a lot of these are signed. There's Oswald, Elmore, Lindegaard, but the third's brush. There's his guy John's brush. There's Eric's brush. Ken's brush, etc. Up here we've got a Foster and Kleiser advertising logo from the golden age of billboards, where Foster and Kleiser were probably the largest advertiser in Chicago at that time. Following the rungs of the ladder, we will slowly but surely get to the Beverly Sign Company sign. They were painters, and they did hand painting of signs back in the heyday of paint.
But we did. They did have some boards that were posted. That's the ones that were posted. We did for them.
Right. And up there you got your Marlboro and your Burma shave. Unless your face is stinger free, you better let your honeybee Burma shave. And there's a backdrop of a cutout from a piece of Flex vinyl for the Leinenkugel Beer Company. That makes a nice little curtain or a decoration. Probably behind that is just a mass of junk that's concealing, but storage. We call it storage. To each their own. There's the E for Edwards.
Well, that came out of the original.
Teresa Hendricks Street.
That was the E out of Triangle Sign Company that was on their original building down in
the E for Triangle.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Because it was also our initial.
The E for Triangle. So one last time, gonna get the chili peppers in there, but before that are hanging. Here's your backdrop, followed by your wall of history, and not to be outdone by your display cases in the Museum of Billposting History, started, curated, and by Bernard J. Edwards Jr., trying to keep the 5 generations of Billposting alive and well in the city of Chicago. Okay. So here's Bernie. Okay. Your last comments and thoughts as you close the museum down?
Well, I'm closing it down in the hope that one day I'll have a new place to set it all back up again. But I've been it's as far as I know there were only one there's only been one other Billposting museum. So,
oh, really?
Yeah. Well, the advertising card.
Oh, okay.
And went in
Bringling
search of
Brothers.
that day at the Circus World Museum.
Nice.
So I think I'm pretty sure this is only the second one that was ever devoted, entirely, to the history of Billposting. So
very fine.
I'm proud of that.
Now, speaking of, I saw here on top of the case, I didn't see it earlier. That's a letter to our father from Mr. Bly, who was the owner of Triangle Outdoor, and it says, it's hard for you to read at home, it says, "Dear Bernie, in future don't post any bad platforms. Tell them to call them in if you don't want to go up on there, and we'll get them fixed." So in other words, be careful. We'll fix that platform. They were made out of wood, and they rotted very easily through the elements, and you would just go up on a platform and walk right through it, I think was the message of that that little directive. Here's a Postacular Posting Service handwritten note. I believe how to make a pizza crust and filling.
Well, it was a...
Or now, how to make a peach cream pie.
Mother, that's
there you
the
go.
original Postacular Posting Service letterhead that Mother used to write a recipe on, and she found it in one of her cookbooks.
There you go. So if you want a recipe for a outstanding peach cream pie, just write to us and we'll send you the recipe. Include a self-addressed stamp. So as we venture out into other memorabilia and artifacts of the Billposting heritage, we're going to go into the office and look at the command center, if you will, of the Billposting legacy. Because here you'll see a lot more interesting artifacts, starting with a portrait of our father, which is a sketch that was made for him when he first went over as an ambassador to St. Petersburg, Russia. So it's a nice photograph of the patriarch of the outdoor advertising company. Here you have a signed over, under, sideways, down album, signed by Chris Treha, Jim McCarty of the Yardbirds. Yes. Got a interesting little portrait of Andy Warhol with some self-portraits of him.
That were stamps.
They were stamps.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I actually got that from Rich and Sybil.
There's a Yardbirds. Here's my brother and I posting a strange copy. Never did quite figure out what the guy with the zipper head was all about, but it was cold that day.
Yeah, Ganette's self-promotion
Yeah.
ad. I think their slogan was "Turn your mind inside out."
Turn your mind inside out, folks. There's the one of the championship softballs for the softball team that was sponsored by Gannett Outdoor.
Well, those were the two MVP balls. The 2 times we won the championship, I actually won the MVP ball each time.
There's the MVP ball. There's some advertising signage. There we are on the softball diamond. My brother Bernie in the right, my brother Richard in the middle, and I'm walking away to right field when we used to have the company team 16-inch softball. An interesting photo of a classic American billboard for Marlboro Advertising at the S curve, which is now across where Navy Pier stands, again from the golden age of advertising. These 330 sheets were from True Value, Cotter and Company, no longer really advertising, and those really were quite unique. And many times did we enjoy posting those. There's a lady in red.
Yes, just a model billboard.
Here's a picture of them scraping it. What's called scraping a sign.
That was an old triangle.
Yeah, that's a cool
90.
advertisement. Scraping a sign is when you take one layer of paper off to put up a new layer of paper for those of you studying at home. Here's a cool billboard at Balmoral in the Tri-State Tollway. You can see them putting that up over a wood panel. Fairly, I think that's about a 1,200 square foot advertising sign.
Yeah, that was 20 by 60.
79th and Hallstate. Gotta go to Sharks and get myself some fish and chicken.
Yeah.
There's Bernie in front of the Billposters advertising car for the Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus, being housed in Baraboo, Wisconsin. You see, they had done so much advertisement, and advertising was so important to the circus that they actually had a dedicated team of bill posters who rode in a separate car to put up all their advertisements. Again, that would have been paper copy put up with water-soluble glue and brushes.
Right.
Moving right along, here's a check that our father wrote within just a few months of him getting married to our mother, and it's a check for $66 to the Union Hall, and it's very cool. That was the year they were married, 1960. Though they were married February 6, 1960. This check is posted February 24th, 1960, in my father's most regal handwriting when they were living at 9061 Grosse Pointe Road, Skokie, Illinois, before they bought their first home at 509 Mallard Lane in Deerfield. There's the placard for the owner of the company, Bernard J. Edwards. And as we move along, we've got
that was the board just out.
One of the advertising boards they did on the right field wall at Wrigley Field.
Well, right across the street.
Right across the street behind Wrigley Field.
Right, and then there are more tabletop displays.
Some more tabletop displays.
And
some more trophies.
Right.
A nice view of the city of Chicago and all its distinct ethnic neighborhoods and the history of Chicago as seen through the neighborhood scene. Chicago, known as one big neighborhood. There's a picture of one of the first,
well, that was our first
if not
undefeated season.
the first undefeated season
it was 93.
of the softball team. There's a Gannett cap.
There's the world's most expensive frisbee.
There's Paul's Place frisbee that
only cost me $5,000.
that investment never paid off. Here's your nice backlit, old-style, pure brewed a beer advertising sign. Here's another look at one of the other championship,
we won the championship. We
softball team.
That was 98.
Of course, moving down to the corner, this is a advertisement that our uncles and father got. I was too little, but there's a play school ad where all the nieces and nephews of our family are in there, some kind of promotional deal they had with play school. My cousin Steve's in there, Bernie Jr.'s in there, my brother Richard's in there, my cousin Danny's in there, My cousin Denise is in there. I'm not sure if I'm missing anyone.
I don't think Danny's in there.
I think that is Danny.
This is Denise.
I think that one of those is Danny. Either way, it's the older kids getting a little publicity and play school. Maybe they got a free toy out of that deal. I don't know. If so, those toys are long gone. Here's some awards of acknowledgement from Gannett Outdoor. There's another one from Gannett Outdoor. Superior service. Thanks again. Outstanding work. Good job, fellas.
Right. In my 34-year career, I received 4.
4 in 34 years. Four thank you letters. Now, this is the installation at Sheridan and Devon Avenue.
Very first one.
The very first postacular,
right,
which is a special type of advertising board with a large square face followed by a long rectangular face. Basically a 2-part installation, at that time done off of scaffolds, though modern day bill posting was done off of hooked ladders. But this is a very interesting narrative of how to install an advertising sign circa 1960, back in the day. Something our father would have perfected in his youth. This is a nice architectural blueprint. Now you can see in the blueprint, you can see I'm focusing on the square face, which is its own board, and then you can see the extension to the right of the rectangular face forming one whole billboard. That was a design. That design was called the postacular. So that was that type of billboard, and that pretty much was how our father first started and kept his first business. There's the third of 4 thank you letters, and then here's the 4th one from a company called Lorillard. That would be a client.
Right, that's a client I did a ride for.
This is from the old Cafe Voltaire at Elston Avenue and Cortlandt Street. They took a horse's head from a oversized Marlboro billboard and went up there with a straight ladder and pasted it onto the side of the Cafe Voltaire, which was a predecessor to all these hippie, artsy hangouts, and where all the hipsters go. So that dude was there first, setting a trend for many years to come of the cafe scene in the city of Chicago. There's Bernie with Jim McCarty and Chris Strea of the Yardbirds at the Abbey Pub. A big Yardbirds fan he was, sort of blending his own personal interests with music and rock and roll and how it helped shape him as a man growing up. We've got what's this? Not sure what this is.
Rich gave that to me for my 50th birthday.
Dodge Brothers commercial car.
But they're using a bill posting.
Oh, I see. Well, I see. It's a bill posting truck. I get it.
Yeah.
Bill posting truck. I get it. This is a replica of the Buffalo Bill, Cody and his Wild West show, which of course our great-great-grandfather George Edwards would have been servicing Buffalo Bill's interests by putting up all this advanced advertising copy to get people to come to the Wild West show. This is an original poster from the very early 1960s of postacular. This is the medium for you. And you can see up close we've got Swift's Premium Meats. Again, you can see the square section of the billboard followed by the rectangular section to form the complete whole. Here we've got J&B Scotch, rare Scotch whiskey. Very famous advertising from the golden age of advertising. As long as you're up, get me a Grant's. Something to say for the patriarchy of those days, where a man could sit in a tanned, smoking jacket, smoking a cigarette, reading the newspaper, having his wife to fetch him another belt of Grant's. Those days are long gone. But who doesn't enjoy cornflakes? Good for good for you. Great way to sweeten up the day. Buy Kellogg's cornflakes. You see, because we're advertisers, folks, we're always selling advertising product. Go out, get yourself some cornflakes. You'll thank me later. Here's a promotional of how to make the 8-sheet. Now, the 8-sheet was something that was brought into advertising in the 1980s to try to attract more regional clients. again in the neighborhoods of Chicago, and they were 5 by 11 in dimension, and they're much smaller than the larger billboards, but it has a lot to do with getting more clients and more bang for your buck, and you can it's one man can put them up as to opposed to a whole crew, and they were pretty low to the ground. So there was another innovation in the bill posting, and that was the 8-sheet billboard. You've got your official seal of the city of Chicago, right. Incorporated March 4th, 1837. Some interesting stuff here in the bathroom. Go right in here real quick. You got the got this nice sketch of the Picasso sculpture downtown. This very cool photograph of Chicago, east side of State Street between Washington and Madison. You got your photograph of the old Owens Esso service station. Bernie loves the Route 66 memorabilia, obviously, because it was centralized around advertising and Americana, so that explains that. You've got your Texaco sign, your maps of the greater New England area, always comes in handy on a bill posting route in Chicago, and again, a few more trucks and toys. Once we focus in on some of these, I'm going to say, is this a Railway Express? This is a Sinclair. This is Sinclair Refinery. Of course, that became the famous Standard Oil. And here it is, Save with Sinclair. So you got some old oil cans, etc. This is actually a penny bank for a child. So up here you've got the Steno, the dinosaur. Again, the spokes dinosaur for the Sinclair Oil Company. So moving out of this cozy little room, we'll do a quick panorama, if you will, of the room itself. Try to show you the scale of the room. And those are the beautiful red bookcases from our father's office and home library from when they lived in Deerfield on Mallard Lane, which my father gave to my brother some years ago. They're just very, very, very nice. Yeah. We truly did enjoy those.
And those are some advertising tins.
And then there's a whole bunch of advertising tins up there. Too many to recount here, with a bowling trophy emanating out of the center. Like, you know, hey, first place, I'm sure, if it's an Edwards family trophy. Now this is the
that's Josephine.
This is Josephine, the deer. Yes. Look it to be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6 or 8 point buck. I'm not sure, or deer. That was from the basement of the family home in Morton Grove. I'm not sure who killed the deer, but
it came. Dad brought it home one day from. It was originally in the office of the two brothers, the Just brothers, who owned the Skokie Lanes.
They owned the Skokie bowling lanes.
And they were going to throw it when they were redoing their office. They were going to throw it out, and Dad told him he'll take it, and then he brought it home and then it hung above the downstairs fireplace on Parkside until that place was sold. Right, they ate the rest and they were going to throw this one out, but we saved it. Yes.
All right, so this is what's called the Bill Poster's front office.
Yes.
And again, a cross-section of both personal and advertising memorabilia that is dear to our family's history. And we're going
Did you get that sign?
And then once you leave the office, you are seeing this nice sign.
Well, that came out of the old Sullivan.
Okay, this is from Sullivan Outdoor Advertising.
And when they moved over to May, they had got this sign out of their original building.
Right, and Sullivan was part of the innovation of the 8-sheet model of billboards, and they became Gateway Outdoor.
Yes.
And our Uncle Donald was instrumental in all that.
Right. Did you get King Kong?
This is King Kong. It's a replica, I'm just saying, just in case. Our fans think that we're... well, it's hard to get Kong because it's so big and I'm so close. My head is up against the wall, but you can see the mighty Kong, the Beauty and the Beast, if you will. It was Beauty that killed the Beast, if you know your Kong mythology, in all his resplendent glory as the King of Apes and the King of the Jungle. There you go, Kong. Nice to see you. Now we're moving out into the kitchenette area, where the lunchroom, where the bill posters would have their snack after a hard day of work. These are some 30-sheet bill posters from the Eller outdoor era, and they were union men, and here they are doping or pasting a sign. We call it doping in bill posting parlance. There's your bill posting machine. There's another view of the bill posting machine, and there are the two bill posters, one on top, one on bottom, putting up a Swift's premium sausage ad, probably in the 1950s for sure, in the golden age of unionized bill posting, where you called your fellow bill posters brother. Right. Now, I already took quite a panorama of this on another video, but this is a quick look in collage style of all the faces and all the places that the bill poster had come and gone throughout the years, up and down the ladder, in the summer heat, here I am, sorry about that, folks, in the summer heat and in the winter snows. That's the sign that Bernie fell off of.
Yes.
Right into the grass, though, better than falling into a concrete parking lot, for the record. There's this very horrifying Virginia Slims sign on what's called a monopole. That's not there anymore.
That one always swayed.
Used to be at 55th and Stevenson Expressway. There's a nice roof unit.
Well, that's Cermak Ogden Plaza.
Yeah,
that's gone.
Advertising Paul Mall.
Actually, that's the one Craig fell off.
There, another guy fell off of that.
Yeah.
There's the
Willet board. That's the one
Marlboro.
that was by the old Greyhound station.
The old sign company. Triumph.
Triangle boards.
You know.
That's one we actually
Cuddy Sark.
Put a bow on that one.
There's Amaretto.
There's my old station wagon with the ladders on it.
There's the old station wagon with the ladders on it. There's the installation at Union Station.
Yeah.
The indoor installation, here he is, above the sign that says "To all trains" on a 40-foot ladder. Here he is again. One more shot. There's some 8 sheets.
There's the Jesus
wall unit. I got
light
it.
shining on it.
Jesus in the halo of light. There's...
Well, this was the wall that was exposed when they tore the building down, where they built the apartment. This is where the old screw factory was.
Yep.
They tore it down. It revealed this old, ad on the side of this wooden. The wooden. This was that little church in between Kuma's and the screw factory.
Yep.
Which now is also gone.
There's a bill poster up close in black and white photographic
That's
history.
Al Philwick, who was
There's
the
Al
head
Philwick.
of the union during the 60s.
Yep. And there's There's Foster and Kleiser. You see, back in the day, they were the biggest and baddest. There's our niece and our brother. There he is, posting his heart away, scraping away. You got one of Miguel. There's Ray.
Yeah,
there's Steve.
That's when he thought that was his last day.
Bernie and Cynthia from there's the old bill poster training ground. We used to go up on the single pole made from bill poster materials to learn how to overcome your fear of heights and, live very dangerously as a 4-year-old. There's your S-curve. Very high sign, hundreds of foot in the air. Marlboro cigarettes. There's an interesting loop ad. I think that's Robert Plant. You've got, you've got your Christmas party. You got Eric's boat. There's Lonnie. You got all kinds of. There's your Cubs advertisement.
And that was the one job we did directly for the Cubs.
Just doing a panorama here. There's Bernie in front of the deer head. There's Ozzy.
What do you call that? Some African instrument.
There's Rich with the Bill Posting Cat Posty. Here we are at the Buffalo Bill Recreation. Buffalo Bill Recreation. There's Bunch of guys. Here's your Postacular Triangle outdoor sign. Here's your Benson and Hedges installation.
There's the biggest job we ever did.
There's Steve sitting up on the roof.
Of the cupboard there.
Just kind of taking a chill. There's that installation we spoke of. There's Beer. Happy Bill Poster in his Kris Kringle hat. There's Ozzy in his Bill Poster whites. There he is dangling off the edge of a Bill Posting sign. Be careful up there, boys. It's windy today.
Yeah, it's me.
There's our mom. There's Bernie having breakfast.
Yeah.
There's Bernie trying to figure out how he's ever going to get himself clean again. Luckily, it is water soluble.
Yes.
The glue is water soluble. Here's our father in front of a billboard in St. Petersburg, Russia. And that pretty much completes our panoramic view of the... there I am putting on my boots, ready to work like a man. There's an old Bill Poster face. That's Bob. There's Hubie Dugan, friend of Bill Posting, general manager of Gannett Outdoor, and sponsor of the softball team. And here we are drinking in the tavern after the softball game. Right. There's our cousin Grant, Tom Blue, and our cousin Denise. We must have won that game because we're all in such good spirits. This is the future home of Kuma's Corner, one of the internationally famous heavy metal biker bars. They broke the mold when they made a hamburger and put brie cheese on it. But this used to be Micros.
Yes.
And before that it was Black Garrity's. Yeah. I bet you didn't know that, Kuma folk.
That's me and Eric.
There we are having a beer.
No, that was at the Abbey for the Yardbirds.
There's the Abbey at the Yardbirds. Here are our fathers with some clients at a hotel ballroom.
No, they're not clients. At the time, this is Don Davidson. He was the head of Gannett. And
there
this was Lou Cellini, who was the GM in Chicago of Gannett.
There's Bernie on the phone talking to an important client, getting paste all over that nice couch that I used to like to sleep on. Guess I won't do that again. So let's step back, see if we can get a nice little panorama of what we're calling the collage of Bill Posting history and all its magnificent glory, honoring the men and women that walk through these hallowed halls in the service of outdoor advertising. We go up here, we see an original logo in metal, in colorful letters for Triangle Outdoor Advertising and Postacular. Now, Postacular was our company, and we worked for Triangle, but at the time, it's like they were inseparable. You couldn't have one without the other. And we've got a small homage to the Jimmy Page as we look into some original posters that would have come from the era of the Yardbirds that were purchased in San Francisco. You got your Yardbirds, they're playing that night with Moby Grape and Captain Beefheart. You've got this very rare Yardbirds poster. He's playing with that strange English band, Dave D, Dozy, Beaky, Mitch and Titch. Pete Townsend almost left The Who to play for that band. There's some very nice psychedelic posters, again, of the Yardbirds playing with Jim Morrison and the Doors, Richie Haven, all those wonderful guys from a begotten era. There's a nice Yardbirds poster cut out in all its magnificent purple and orange chrome colors, and another Yardbirds poster at the Fillmore West playing with Have a Beautiful Day. So great homage to Bernie's favorite musical band and influence pre-Led Zeppelin, the Yardbirds, where you would find such notable guitar gods as Eric Clapton, Jimmy Page, and Jeff Beck. All were in membership at one point. Right. Just doing a quick panorama of some of the other stuff on the wall. You've got. Well,
that was actually I actually got that from Tom Blue as a gift for being his best man.
Your Miller High Life.
When he married Denise.
The bar is open sign. There's Bertie likes this one from Schaler's Pump. This is the menu from Schaler's Pump. Why? Because they too were a family business. They too went back many generations, and they too were the first in their industry For the record, you can get a chicken pan-fried steak for $6.95. I recommend the Blue Plate special, but they're known for their prime butt, $9.50. And these are today's prices, people. This is not a menu, a throwback menu, but this is what you get you walk in the door today. Yeah. Plus, the beer is very cold. I can attest to that.
Well, they're the oldest continuous
square grill menu
in Chicago.
So here we are in the Bill Poster's lunchroom again.
Okay, did you get up here?
It's very hard to get up here, bro, because I don't have zoom on this camera.
Okay, but that was stitched
or maybe
by,
I do.
But that frame piece there.
I got some zoom.
That was stitched by great grandma.
Yes.
It says, "Why is there never time to do a job right, but always time to do it over?"
I don't know. Why is there never time to do a job right, but always time to do it over? A riddle for the ages. Therefore, folks, do it right the first time, or don't do it at all. Right. There's an old poster that I made from my days at Quencher's Open Mic Poetry. And again, that's the office. We had been there previously.
Yes.
Now,
can you get the refrigerator?
Is the refrigerator important?
Yeah.
Usually I just put junk notes on my refrigerator.
Well, that's got
when I got to take Scooter to, to his, his swim lessons.
That is my collection of Amy Winehouse cookies.
Okay.
Chronicling.
Okay.
All her various problems.
I always thought his true influence was Jimmy Page, but apparently Amy Winehouse is making a appearance here on our video.
Where she's stumbling out outside.
There's just something about Amy Winehouse that has fascinated my brother. Rest in peace, Amy.
Excuse me.
Voodoo doll.
Oh, this one?
Okay, now that I've thoroughly documented a refrigerator that was in our parents' home,
this came from UIC.
Oh, I thought this was our
old. It was a college refrigerator.
I thought that this was our old refrigerator.
No.
I got it all. I do have zoom on here, but I'm not very good at working it. And then you get your Pepsi machine.
Oh, yeah.
10 cents, drink a Pepsi.
The vendor later.
It's good for you. It's good for you.
Yeah, from the early 60s. Yeah.
And then here's his stove.
Yeah, wow.
Now we're moving into the
actual posting.
The actual bill posting. Well, I mean, God forbid I should describe this as a mess. Here is your bill posting tubs where you put the paper in.
Actually, I never threw out this old paper.
Yeah, so here's some old rotted bill posting paper. We're selling it cheap, though. $5 per sheet, and, you can start your own historical society. Have fun with it, mix and match. It's all good. It's a nice little collage that Bernie made. There's your
various parts
Camel cigarette Camel.
Old bulletins.
There's your Marlboro cigarette cutout. There's your Visca gel, which is the Dutch horse flakes that we have imported from Holland at 135th Street up the St. Lawrence Seaway in the city of Chicago via the Atlantic Ocean. And you got a nice, I feel like eating some McDonald's now. I don't know where that came from. Lots of subliminal advertisements today in the Bill Posting Museum. There's a bunch of tools in a dark corner. There's the Gannett logo. That is that's the company that replaced Triangle. They brought out Triangle Outdoor. They were our clients probably from about 1980 or 82 for many years.
85 into the 90s. That's a painting stool from Charlie's shop.
An old painting stool.
National Industrial.
There's the Sinclair Dino again, and this is an original Dino Sinclair dinosaur clock with the Dino Supreme motor oil can. Very, very cool. Be careful, Sam Kinison. Watch out, folks. Careful, careful, careful. A small tribute to Preacher Sam. Here's your bill posting machine. This is your Beeline bill posting machine, the second one ever made, out of Burkhart, Indiana. There's a switch to flip on the rollers. So I'll walk you through this, folks. Give you a play-by-play in case you ever wanted to take up the art and craft of bill posting. This is what you would do. The first thing you would do is you would move the marlin from the table, because you can't have a marlin on a table when you're working. So this is a bill posting table. You put your paper on here. You take the paper, right? You fold your paper. You can see me, I'm folding the paper. You turn on your rollers. Glue comes from the rollers.
I mean, it's not going to, the rollers are not going to.
You turn on your rollers. Glue comes from these little spouts here. I'm going to use my finger by way of... The glue comes from this. It's got holes on the bottom. This roller and this roller engage, and they roll clockwise. And they spit glue out into a tray. And then you take your folded paper.
Should I run a sheet through?
You think you can do it?
Yeah, I think that's so.
And these are the bill poster's glove. They got a lot of grit on them because they got to hold a very doughy piece of paper full of water-soluble paste. And once you're done, you put your paper in your bucket, you put your label on it, you take it out, you install it on your sign. Whoa!
Sorry.
Hold on, folks. Total pandemonium. It's broken out in the bill posting shop.
Oh, wait, I need to post it.
Gotta be careful. While he's doing that, there's your outdoor system sign. They came after Gannett, immediately followed by what's called Infinity, in an age of buyouts and consolidations and whatever they were doing on the stock market back in those days. Infinity replaced Outdoor Systems. Viacom replaced Infinity. 3M National, they were always independents. That was our Uncle Donald. And then last but not least, CBS. That was the last vendor still standing in outdoor in Chicago, along with Clear Channel Outdoor. And there they are right now, Clear Channel. This is a beautiful cutout of some pterodactyls made by Daniel T. Blue. These are the ladder racks that Blue made out of customized metals. So you can put your ladders on there, keep your ladders above the ground, keep your ladders very organized. And here's a soak tank. Now a soak tank, this thing's about 30 foot long. A soak tank you fill with water because your ladders have been accumulating glue all day. You got to get the glue off the ladder. But the problem is the glue has dried. So the only way to get the glue off is to soak them in warm, bubbly, soapy water, and then you clean the ladders off with a thick brush, and they're good to go for the next day. This is what's called bill posting hooks. Bill posting hooks go over the top of the sign to keep the bill poster safe. It's one of the safety features in bill posting. So you got this nice panoramic of ladders, which is the preferred tool of the bill poster. Now, it does appear as if Bernie is going to show us how to run through a advertising sign free of charge, because normally he charges for that. There's your post no bill sign, that's old. You got your wall of oil cans. You got your Zeppelin poster from Zeppelin 4. A bunch of posters that I made for my poetry shows at Quenchers and Hottie Biscotti respectively. Barnum and Bailey. Some more posters, Zeppelin, etc. Let's see here. What's he doing? He's gonna get glue all over himself for the sake of documenting this on film. So you can see him working with the glue, trying to master it like Zeus tried to conquer, you know, the gods of Olympus. He's gonna get it. He's working on it. Someone will reign supreme. He's putting on his bill posting gloves. He's taking a sheet folded in half. He's running it through the rollers with the jets spouting glue onto it. It gets exciting, folks. Bear with me. Now he's going to take it, he's going to fold it, he's going to flip it. He's going to get the excess glue off of it. He's going to give it a flip, another fold, and then a forward fold. I predict. Get the excess glue off. He's going to give it a forward flip. He's going to put it in a box next sheet. You got to do that about what? I don't know. Do that 200 more times, and then you're ready to go out on your route. And then here, in all its waterfall cascading excitement, glue spouting from the glue spouts onto the rollers in a bill posting shop in Chicago. You can hear the gurgle and rattle of the glue and the pumping of the motor, and it all comes together to form one cohesive sheet. Then you go out, you battle the winds and the whims of Mother Nature, you slap that up, you go on to your next location, and you have pride in your work.
And this would be the barrel that, we would...
And this is his bill posting barrel that you actually make the glue. And how do you make the glue? What's the recipe?
That's a closely guarded family secret.
Closely guarded family secret. So, sorry folks, can't give that away from you.
Right. In case this tape falls into the wrong hands.
That's right.
It's like the recipe for Kentucky Fried Chicken. It's a closely guarded secret.
So we can't give you that secret. We can say there are 9 herbs and spices in the glue, but again, we can't tell you what those spices are. So this is it. This is the Beeline.
Yes.
This is the
they ever made from 1964.
The bill posters.
Our father bought it in 1964.
1964. This is it.
The second one they ever made.
This is a real piece of machinery. There's no doubt about it. This is not just, for child's play. This is a serious piece of machinery. It can bite you if you don't give it some love.
Oh, you have to.
What's the machine's name? What's her name? Darlene? Jenny?
Well, you do need to treat it like a woman.
Need to treat it like a woman.
Though, I don't know if we ever did give her a name.
Her name is B.
Well, there you go, B.
Her name is B. Nice to see you again, B.
Well, in her retirement, she finally got a name.
You're looking older, but you're getting better.
Now that she's retired, she gets it.
Put on a few pounds, but you're still quite a sweet, sweet lady. You served us well all those years. How many years, Bern, did B serve us?
Well, since Dad bought it in 1964.
64, it's 2013.
Yeah.
Do the math at home, folks. That's not my job. So here we are. We get a panorama. There's the Marlboro cigarette advertising I was showing you earlier.
Right.
There's a panorama, if you will, of the bill posting shop proper.
Yeah, that's
this is
collection of gas and oil memorabilia.
Gas and oil memorabilia.
Yes.
Part of the advertising of Americana.
These are the racks that our friend who
recently
passed.
I got these all documented.
He built the racks. He built the soap tank.
Oh yes, sir.
And there's this. Well, we can't see with the ladders, but he signed it somewhere.
It's signed somewhere. I don't know if I can get that. It's awfully dark in there.
We'd have to.
Here's the bill posting door.
Take the ladders off. But
It's signed somewhere.
That's actually also.
I know it's a cutout of pterodactyls.
Yeah,
I got it.
That Dan Blue also did.
I got it. Yep, I was on it. That's why I'm documenting.
Okay, and this was actually a painting scaffold that also came out of our Uncle Charlie's shop. They would have, stood on this, to paint the vinyls in the old days before they, invented the technology to print the big vinyls. They hand painted them.
Right.
So this
There's
would have been one of his scaffolds.
One of our uncle's scaffolds, and there's the skylight.
Yeah.
One of 2 skylights that lets the light in. Bill poster always needs good light. May your light shine towards heaven.
Well, get a picture of the 8 sheet out there.
We got an 8 sheet. We're going outside. Button up, folks. It's windy today. Wind never a good friend of the bill poster because it blows the sheets in your face, slaps your heart across the face with a lacerating wind. And this is the McDonald's. This is a practice board they used to use to get the trainees in the shape before they actually climb the ladder. But here you are, advertising for one of our tried and true clients, always a reliable client, McDonald's. So please patronize your local advertisements, support your local bill poster. There's the old bill posting truck. There's the other bill posting truck with the ladder racks on it. And this is a scale view of the back of the shop. Now, it's winter now, but you can see that it's covered in ivy. So if it were the spring, all of this seemingly twisted root that looks dead would actually be the most beautiful fluorescent green you ever saw. More beautiful than the ivy at a day game at Wrigley Field. But alas, it is winter. So you'll just have to trust me on the ivy. So here I am navigating the treacherous outdoor terrain of a bill posting shop. Okay, get a panorama from here.
Get a picture of the land bridge.
And there's the here's the steps that lead up. There's the grate that always floods.
Yeah.
And it's a nice panorama of the expansiveness of the bill posting shop. And it's so full of stuff that it's making me dizzy. But again, each item has its history, each item has its story, and each item can be more personal and meaningful than the last. So here you are at the end of an era, 5 generations in the making of billboard outdoor advertising. Any thoughts, self-reflections, words of advice or encouragement, etc., etc.?
Well, the one thing I am thankful for is, we did make it to 50 years. Post-tacular probably lasted, longer than any independent, posting operation in this city. So I think that's something, our whole family should be proud of. It's just, once again, if it wasn't for, the new innovation of, digital displays coming along, I mean, that's what, is force and paper, the paper billboards, which is, what we always specialized in posting. I mean, that's what's, forcing us to have to close down, is that the sales, are just no longer, great enough to, support this.
And there you have it, folks. A snapshot of 150 years of outdoor advertising, started by our great-great-grandfather George Edwards, culminating in our oldest brother, Bernie Edwards, who held the last reins of the bill posting brush to take us forever onward into the wonderful world of outdoor advertising. And we hope you enjoyed this video documentary of a very personal and meaningful journey from all the Edwards family. We wish you and yours